Hey, good morning, everybody. Terry with Tim Travels, coming to you from kind of snowy Louisville, Kentucky. Had a drop earlier this morning across the river, which is, as you know from our travels, is the Ohio River. So I guess people in Indiana and Kentucky still have to call the river after Ohio. Yeah, so anyway, just a little snowy, a little slippery. Looks like schools might be opening late if they're open. I don't even know if they're doing remote school like a lot of places are because of the coronavirus. Anyway, wanted to check in with you. Got a lot of new subscribers, very grateful for that. Especially want to thank Lyle from No Hippie Trucking and Transportation. He gave me a shout out on his channel, and I think that helped us pick up some new subscribers. Tim's out, still on vacation, but you know, he asked me to send his regards to Tim Travels Nation, so there you go. So I've been thinking about this for a while. Oh, and by the way, it's kind of a special anniversary. This load that I'm dropping here in Louisville, I'm just waiting. This load is my 100th load at GP Transco. So I hit the century mark in loads at GP Transco. So kind of cool. Anyway, I've been thinking about a lot of things probably since I was on my trainer's truck about things that truck drivers do. There's lots of videos out there about, you know, truck drivers having accidents, truck drivers having, you know, backing into somebody or something, or making a crazy ill-advised U-turn. But there's a lot of things, and of course there's a lot of videos of people in cars, four-wheelers, as we call them, or as people in the trucking industry call them, doing stupid things around trucks. And I'm going to have a video about that shortly. It's going to kind of be the companion video to this one. But really the purpose of that video is going to be education. And hopefully some, you know, my kids will watch it. But anyway, this is hopefully some education for people that are truckers, thinking about being truckers, or, you know, just around the industry, maybe working at a trucking company. So these are the top 10 annoying behaviors of truck drivers. These are my top 10, and I also have a bonus at the end, so stay tuned for that. So the first, number 10 annoying behavior of truck drivers: smelling and looking bad. We all know what I'm talking about. In the Navy, we used to say people look like Joe Shit the Rag Man. Well, you know, when your funk precedes you and stays long after you're gone, you need to hit the showers. You know, a lot of people have a negative impression of truck drivers, and I'm not saying you need to wear a coat and tie into a shipper. But what I am saying is when you look like they're not sure if you're a homeless dude coming in who has a better excuse than you do for looking bad, or who you are. I see guys at shippers and I'm just like, I can't imagine what the inside of their truck looks and smells like when I see their appearance, how they appear in public to strangers. And whether you like it or not, people judge you by your appearance. I'm not saying you need to have a haircut like mine or you have to be clean shaven, but you need to at least act like you have some pride in your appearance, because people don't want to give you the time of day. They don't, if you don't take care of yourself, why should they take care of you? I mean, I guess that's what I'm saying. And, you know, I don't have any set idea of what a truck driver should wear. But again, when you know, there's a saying, clothes make the man. And sometimes you got to play the part and, you know, look like you know what you're doing. So that's number 10. Number 9 annoying behavior of truck drivers: cutting in without having a safe distance. What do I mean by that? You're driving down the road, a guy passes you in a truck, but he's more worried about some car that's tailgating him than he is about making sure there's a safe distance between the back of his truck and the front of yours when he comes over into the right-hand lane. That's annoying. It only takes a few seconds more to increase that. But there's absolutely no excuse, because as I've mentioned before, my truck tells me the distance to other vehicles, the distance to vehicles in front of me. It tells me their speed, and it tells me how many seconds I am behind them, or they are in front of me, however you want to look at it. But when I shouldn't have to slow down to get to a safe interval, get to a safe following distance, because you cut over 42 feet in front of me. Okay, you cut over in front of me, and where I only had a half a second behind you, when I should have over 2, but ideally around 4. So, you know, hang out in the left lane a little bit more. If you're afraid of getting a ticket for being out there, then don't go there to begin with. If you're worried what the person in the car behind you will think of you, you should be more concerned about what your safety director will think of you if you clip the front of my truck. And there have been some close calls. So that's number 9, cutting in without a safe distance. Number 8 annoying behavior of truck drivers: not signaling. Changing lanes without signaling. I saw just yesterday outside of Chicago, I saw a truck almost take a car out. And the reason, the car was trying to merge, but this guy wanted to move into the number 4 lane from the number 3 lane to go around a truck, because there are lane restrictions there. And I'm talking about on like 80, 94. And the reason that the truck almost hit the car was because he didn't signal, and he also went over really fast. And the car kind of had to bail out to the right. Now, the car eventually went past him, and guess what he did do the second time? He put his signal on. So, lesson learned. But put your signals on. You know, people aren't mind readers. The other thing that I will add to that is using your flashers when it's appropriate. So if you're backing, that flashers, your 4-ways, your emergency flashers, whatever you want to call them, that's the international symbol for I'm backing up my semi. So if you're backing up, put your flashers on. That way people know to pay attention. If you're on the shoulder, put your flashers on. If you're on the shoulder but you want to come back into traffic, put your left directional on. Right directional, obviously, if you're on the left shoulder, but put your left directional on so that trucks or other vehicles that are coming, in addition to moving over, they'll know that you're now back on the highway and getting back up to speed. So that's number 8, not signaling. Annoying behavior. Number 7, and this kind of relates to what I was just saying about being on the shoulder, not moving over when you can. When somebody's coming on the highway and you have a lane that's open to your left, not moving over is just a jerk move. When somebody's on the shoulder, they got their 4-ways on, they got their triangles out, or it's a car, you know, their kid's having an issue, there's something wrong, whatever it is, right? You see a vehicle on the shoulder, move over to the left. Move over to the left. if there's a way to do so safely. In a lot of states, it's the law that you move over for state vehicles, state troopers, police officers, etc. In some states, like Ohio, it says, the sign says, move over for vehicles with flashing lights on the shoulder. So my interpretation of that law is, if a tractor trailer has its four-ways on and you don't move over, you could be ticketed. Now, I don't know what the statute actually says, but I know what the sign says. It says vehicles with flashing lights. It doesn't say emergency vehicles. It doesn't say road service. It doesn't say maintenance. It says vehicles with flashing lights. If a Honda Civic is pulled over and they got their four-ways on and you don't move over, you look pretty dumb getting a ticket if you could have moved over. And that's just a safety thing. Why do you want to be so close to a truck that's parked, that's stopped? Why do you want to go past basically an 80,000 pound building at 70 miles an hour? Why do you want to be that close to that truck? I mean, sometimes it just happens. You have to. But all it takes is, when you purposely do that, all it takes is one mistake on somebody's part, and you're into that truck. And so don't do it. Just move over if you can. Number 6, annoying behavior of truck drivers: throwing trash out. I can't say this enough. This is it might be the number one reason people don't want trucks parked in areas that they control. It's probably the number one reason that shippers and receivers will kick you off their property and say, no, you can't stay here overnight. Okay? If you pee in a jug in your truck, fine. Okay? You got to do what you got to do. Go dump it out in some grass or a place where it's not going to stink the place up, and then properly dispose of the jug in a trash can. Okay? Every place I go where trucks have parked on the side of a road, like if I just stop on the on-ramp, let my dog out or something, or whatever it is, invariably there's trash there, and I can tell it's from truckers. Don't do it. Don't clean out a bunch of trash out of your trailer at the truck stop. Truck stops, it's like, truck stops are like one giant public restroom. And every time somebody throws something out and just chucks it on the ground, you just make the restroom dirtier for everybody else. Now, truck stops put up with it. I don't think they should. I think part of all the trash at truck stops is their fault because they let the trash cans overflow. But be considerate of the workers and your fellow human beings. Dispose of your trash properly. It's not that hard. Okay, number 5 annoying behavior. Not using parking lights. So I never park and fail to leave my parking lights on. At truck stops or at rest areas, wherever I park, I leave my parking lights on. It's really unsafe and I saw a bunch of it this morning, people on ramps or the straight up shoulder of an interstate, pitch black, no ambient light, no street lights, and they won't even leave their parking lights on. Why not? Why don't you want to be seen? It's not like you're tricking the state trooper who might make you move. He's still going to see you. But why not do it safely, as safe as possible? Probably not ideal spots to park to get your 10 hours or even your 30 minutes, but do it safer. It's not that hard, and it's not going to run your battery down that much. The other thing, people say don't park on the ends at truck stops. Well, what about the guy that parks 5 spots out beyond the end legitimate spot and won't leave his lights on? What's so hard about that? It's hard enough to do the obstacle course through a truck stop because I get up early and get on the road. I'm on the road a lot of mornings at 2:33. So I'm leaving truck stops when every Johnny come lately that's parked all over the place and all the places you're not supposed to park is parked. I'm not begrudging them parking. As long as I got a path to get out, I can do it. But make it easier on a guy like me. Just leave your freaking parking lights on. It's not that hard. Number 4 annoying behavior of truck drivers: not reading signs on the road. Truck drivers are supposed to read every sign. Why? Because you never know what's going to apply to you. But I can't tell you how many times I see a guy in an exit-only lane for like a mile and a half, had a chance to get over, and then at the very last minute wants to drive partially up the shoulder and get butt hurt because other people won't let him in, whether it's cars or other trucks. And sometimes those trucks can't move anywhere, they can't go anywhere else, right? Or and here's a sign that makes a difference. Construction zones will say oftentimes trucks use the left lane only. The reason for that, I believe, is that there's a drop off to the right in the right lane, because a lot of times they're using the shoulder as a through lane during construction. And a perfect example of not reading the sign and paying a heavy price is what I saw on I-70 last summer in Ohio. This was eastbound, west of Columbus. It's clear, and I drove through those construction zones on 70 a bunch of times. But there was a sign, trucks left lane only. Why? Because the left lane was flat. The right lane actually dropped off fairly sharply, and it was kind of undulating. So it was this kind of, lane. So a car can handle it. A pickup truck can handle it. But there was a guy going through there, zipping through there with his tractor trailer, and his trailer got undulating, and boom, over he went. It's embarrassing. It's needless. And all it would have taken is reading the sign and following directions. Now, if you can't read those signs, you got to take some reading lessons. Okay, you got to learn the English. Number 3, cutting behind people backing. Saw it just yesterday, almost a collision at the truck stop I was at. When somebody does use the international symbol for backing, putting their four-ways on, just wait a second and let them back up. Not that hard. Number 2, tailgating. Everybody knows what it is. Enough said. And the number 1 annoying behavior of truck drivers is speeding through truck stops, especially the fuel islands. There's no need for it. And it's icy. You could slide into another truck, slide into the pumps, or even hit somebody that's just trying to make it get a shower. It's irresponsible. It's unprofessional. And here's the bonus. Truckers on cell phones. I cannot tell you how many truckers I see, and it's not even close. It's not even like they're trying to hide it, right? I saw a guy from a company the other day going through 2 busy intersections at a crossover over I-80 in Illinois, in Morris, Illinois, actually. This dude was like straight up on his cell phone, just right in front of him, like this. And I'm just like, dang, dude, you must not care that much about your job or your license. So anyway, those are my top 10 plus the bonus. As always, subscribe, like, comment. I'd love to hear what you guys think about my top 10 list and the bonus. It's good talking to you, and I'll be back soon. Stay safe.